All right, we are back from the break, and there was some discussion amongst Lafdul and Finn as to what to do now. Did you guys decide?
Um, Not specifically. I mean, I know that I've got most of the information I want to get out of town, realistically speaking.
Okay, how about this? Leva, you were going to cast your first sending, and obviously you'd wait
Mm-hmm.
until they'd get into town and do a little bit first.
Yes.
Does this feel about the point that you would have wanted that you would have cast it? About the point that Lafdul and Finn would have wanted it? You think?
I need to clarify.
Mm-hmm.
I need some questions for Lafdul. What did you tell me when about you were in the city, in the place?
I would probably say about like 2 or 3 hours after we flew off.
2 or 3 hours. So how many hours are we in now?
Probably no more than one.
In that
Yeah,
case,
so
no.
a bit longer than.
In
Oh,
that
wait,
case,
wait.
let's
2 or 3
wait.
hours after you flew off, you said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
so.
Okay,
I've
then
been
that
in
would
town
be
for
the
a
right
couple.
time. I thought you. Sorry, I
Not
initially
from the
thought.
moment we entered town. No.
Okay. All right. So then, yeah, this would be about the time. Leva. So you cast your sending.
Yes.
Let's see if there's a wild surge.
Target is petrified.
All right. What are you sending to them?
They're only 25 words, so it's how are you? Where are you? And is it safe to come in?
I guess I will reply. I'm safe. I'm.
What about Finnel?
You sending it to Finn on me.
No, I'm sending it to you.
I'm safe. We're in town. I haven't inquired. Probably going against that idea. Head back
Oh,
soon.
one addition before he finishes. One addition to what Lever would have asked.
Oh.
When sending next time? Or when next time?
4 hour. 4 hours. I just add that on the end. 4 hours.
Okay.
In 4 hours?
You would probably realize that 4 hours would probably
4 hours from this point. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's reasonable.
Okay. So you are fine, and you are in the place, and
I was trying to advocate that we're probably not gonna do that town thing, bring the ship in. I'm gonna be heading back in a few hours.
wow, that alone is about 15, 20 words.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I wasn't counting, but I know it's like, keep this short.
Okay. So I turn around to the others and I tell them what you told me until you were cut off rudely in the middle of your sentence.
All right. So
Braxon says, sorry.
So you're not going to bring the ship in. That's the gist of it.
He told us not to.
Okay.
Yeah, he told us not to.
Well,
Yeah.
Leva understands that he told her not to.
All right.
That
That's
he doesn't
fine.
have the information in.
What Braxton will say to Lever before you go back to them too is, if you send him a message again and you haven't got loads to say, tell him that if he sees that moss again, that they should destroy it to stop it attacking them.
Well, he knows the moss is dangerous. You know, we have only 25
Yeah, he knows
words,
the
but
moss is dangerous.
Feel free
but
to give Leva some words to ask. Shorten something to the absolute minimum so we can get more in.
He knows the moss is dangerous, but the moss killed him and then he came back to life.
Mm-hmm.
So if he encounters that moss again, he should use magic or weapons to destroy it.
Right, but remember, hold on. Remember, she has a limited number of words that she can share.
Yeah.
Moss, fire, bad, kill.
Well, moss.
That conveys enough.
Yeah. Well, I'd say if you see moss again, destroy it.
Have you counted those words? That's too long. Moss fire bad.
Kill.
Or moss
Yeah.
moss fire kill.
Moss bad is in the same type of moss that I've already encountered that I can already ascertain that pretty quickly.
Well,
And
Moss
how
bad,
about
fire
this?
kill.
How about
Fire
this?
kills
How
moss.
about
Fire-
this? You wait until you actually need to cast sending before you decide what words you're going to
I
use.
can't
Yeah.
imagine them
Other
even
things
sending that off.
might come up that
Yes.
Yeah.
are a
Other
little
things
bit more
might
important
come up.
to share.
They might do.
So they were convinced that we will wait another 4 hours until the next sending.
Okay.
Finn, it's been nice knowing you.
I see. Well, obviously, I'm going to. I say to Finn, it's probably a safe bet. I'm going to change my disguise. Is there anyone around?
No, I think you're still well hidden.
I attempt to hide in shadows, regardless, and I will attempt to alter self to some other pirate. Just change hair color, facial
Alter
features.
self or using your hat?
Using my hat.
Okay.
I'm not using my granted powers yet.
That's what I wanted to double check. Because that could have been misconstrued.
Although I could play off as being a Minotaur, and I do have a tongue spell that would grant me the ability to speak Minotaurish or whatever it is.
Does it...
I just need to have heard the language.
Okay, yeah, then yeah, you've heard the language around here.
1 second. Let me just check something about that spell. Divination. Well, racial tongue or regional dialects.
I mean, as long as it's the thing where you
Selects the
speak
languages.
it, as long as it's the thing where you speak it, rather than them understanding it, I'm fine with it. Because that's the key. With a disguise.
How tall are Minotaurs? 8 feet?
Something like that.
9 feet?
Not
Because
9
when
feet. They're not as tall as Gif.
I don't think I can make myself a Minotaur. Even
What is the
a
maximum
short
size that you could make yourself?
one. I'm 4'11".
So
25 on that. Probably like not even 6. Oh, maybe 6.
is it
So it'd be
25 or
short.
is it 50%?
It's 25. I will disguise. Height 25%. 50% weight.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well...
You maybe an adolescent, but you gotta be careful.
Let me double check something, hold on. You're 4'11", you said?
Mm-hmm. I think I got my minimum height. I never wrote in my maximum height. If I can find wherever the hell I wrote that on my sheet. That thing I did not put somewhere easily. Oh, reduce self to 1.6. That was my reduce self, yeah. No.
Yeah, you can only go, you can do 6 feet 2 inches. That's your max.
Alright, so I'm just making a note of height.
So yeah, that would be too small for a Minotaur.
Yeah.
Minotaurs are over 7 feet tall, but they're not 8 feet tall.
I could understand a language and I don't necessarily have to speak it as a human.
Well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. If you decide that actually makes sense, because I mean,
I was thinking about casting it and I don't know, maybe getting into some games or something. And whenever they're talking to each other in Minotaurish, I'll be able to understand them. Because that's what happened last time. It's a passing thought, really.
That's up to you.
Obviously, I'm changing my disguise to another human at the moment.
All right. So you're gonna make your way over to one of the taverns.
Second, I'm just checking the duration on telepathy. Telepathy lasts 1 turn, 2 rounds level, 20 minutes, 22. Sorry, 22 minutes.
All right. So for that duration, Finn, you'll be able to jump in and suggest questions for Lafdul to ask while he's in the conversation.
Okay.
So what are you gonna do? Because otherwise, you're kind of like wasting time on that spell.
No, I'm gonna start heading towards a tavern.
Right. Okay.
So to speak.
And when you get there, what is your plan?
I'm just wondering if there is actually anything I want to ask. I'm looking at my notes. There's not really that much I can find out here other than finding out about Mei Ling. Why she wants cattle.
I mean, you can still try to gather more information about other people. I mean, see what they know about the individuals, see what they know about Red Njord. I mean, you can just do general reconnaissance.
Alright, I will use the tongue spell to understand Minotaurish, or Minotaur. Okay. And I will go to the tavern, the one with more minotors, I guess, Minotaur Minotaur.
Alright, the Black Dog?
Yeah.
Okay, so you get to that tavern. It's slightly fewer people than before. You'd guess because that one ship left. But it's still a pretty raucous environment. There is a female Minotaur actually singing some bawdy songs now as you enter.
And I can understand the lyrics, or is it in common?
It was in common.
Ah. Alright, then, are there any games or anything? Any people talking? Any groups, people? Is there anyone in here, or is this the case that I just talked to the tavern keeper?
There is a dice game. I mean, you can just, like, try to engage some people in conversation. You could go up to the bar and talk to the proprietor. I mean...
I know the proprietor takes bribes for information, but it's kind of like... I don't need to ask about Sarge, because...
I mean, there's people at tables drinking and stuff like that, so...
I'm gonna try and gather information about the other ports, the other New Haunt and Faldar. Is it Faldar? Is that how you pronounce it?
I believe so.
Sorry, yeah. Then I'm just gonna act as a person, and I also mentally tell this to Finn that I'm gonna see if I can gather information about the other ports. See if you're trying to travel there, for example.
Are you going to try to gather information from the, do you want to join a dice game? Do you want to go,
I just asked the tavern keeper at first. Obviously, I get a drink.
Okay, so you're gonna talk to the proprietor.
Yeah.
All right. I just wanted to know who you were going to talk to, because that might change what they say.
Yeah, I just start off with the proprietor. I might go to the games afterwards.
So you go up to the bar, and the Minotaur... I believe I gave you his name before, but as
can I make a casual greeting in Minotaurish?
Sure.
What? Is he taken aback by that?
No.
No.
He greets you in the same as he's coming as he shows up, and he continues to speak in Minotaur. What can I get you? A man of refinement, I see. I do have a special brew if you're interested from from the League itself?
Hit me up. I'd be happy to have that.
It's a favorite amongst Minotaurs in the League.
It's probably absolutely vile to me. All right, I'll axe the part.
All right. So he pours you a large mug of a dark ale of some sort, and he hands it to you.
Obviously, I pay him. How much? How much do I?
That'll be 4 copper pieces.
Give him 4 copper pieces because I don't have any more copper. That's all my copper. I've got bronze and stuff. But...
All right.
I sample it. Is it any good?
Give me a Constitution check, please.
Oh no. Oh wow.
This stuff is strong. It hits you like a freight train.
Oh good
is, but it's just kind of like, whoa, wow. You know, that's strong.
Is it at least nice?
Well, I'm going to leave that up to you whether you like it or not. It is strong. It is...
He's going to have to nurse this, dear God. Or at least go to a table and pretend to have stowed away the drink or something.
Solas would probably be able to tell you what it's made out of. I don't know that you would know. It's certainly not, like an elven drink. Whether or not you like it, again, whether or not you like it, it's strong. So. It's stronger than dwarven drinks, both in flavor and strength. In terms of its flavor, it's not as earthy as a dwarven drink, but it's more. Let's see. What's a good way to?
You don't have to give me a name, but do I get a name for this drink? So this is going to be something that I'm going to relay to Solas later on.
Yeah, you'll get a name.
All right.
I haven't thought of a name.
Yeah, that's fine. No, that's fine. I don't actually need a current name.
I will think of one, however.
You could always buy a wineskin of it.
So Finn's gonna drop down off his shoulder and kind of run around the edge of the room, listening in on conversations.
Okay. Would you have done that before he got up to the bar?
Yes.
Okay.
You would tell me in telepathy while it's still lasting.
Yes.
Okay.
How long has it been? So I could give him a vague approximation of how long it would still last.
Just a couple minutes. I mean, he could easily find you as long as you haven't left.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to leave without him.
Right. Yeah, so in terms of the flavor, it's definitely... it reminds you of something that is not as refined as an elven or dwarven brewer would make. There's a bit more substance to it. I'm not a drinker myself, so I can't think of it. But it's more the kind of thing that you'd get like a village brew kind of thing. So it's not as like pure and refined as that.
Because it's super strong.
Whether you like it or not, that's up to you.
Yeah, Lafdul appreciates a strong drink.
All right.
Because it knows it gets him into trouble. It's like playing with danger, so he likes that kind of element. You know how this is a bit of a tangent, but you know how people like carry like a small container of like a really, really strong drink. Would I feel like it's appropriate to ask to have like a small metal flask filled up if I were to make an inquiry? Do I feel like that would be... It's just like potion vial, but it's metal. I'm just going to play it off like it's a something for the road kind of thing. A little something to pick me up strong.
So you're asking for essentially some more to take with you?
Yeah, just in a little metal flask. It's probably not even... It's just like a little pick-me-up from the road or something.
Yeah. So real fast, Finn, you have a suggestion for some descriptions?
Well, if it's a little more crudely brewed, it's probably a little bit on the cloudy side, probably a little bitter.
Yeah. So we'll go with that. There you go. Like, I mean, I'm not sure that I'd say crude so much as like not, but I get what you're going after. Like
It-
it's an intentional decision as opposed to just less skilled.
It's
But it
more for
still
the effects
results in the same
than-
thing. But yeah, so we'll definitely go with what Finn mentioned.
That's cool. I tried to ask if he could get me a couple coppers worth or something in a small flask.
Well, I don't normally do that, but I
put
suppose
a
I could do
bronze
that
on
for 4 copper
Yeah.
as well. Now you're only going to get about half the volume out of this. But,
I give him a bronze. That's 5 copper, isn't it?
no, that is 10.
Let's see. It's a man of good taste. There, obviously. I keep the change. I give him a bronze.
Ah, good man, good man. He takes the flask from you and fills it up.
I can appreciate a good beverage.
All right, so you have a flask of that.
What do I want to ask? So what's this I hear about Mei Ling wanting some castle? It's just is she asking for anything in particular? Just the usual run.
Well, we hear that she's been trying to breed cattle there for who knows how long. It just never takes. It just never takes. It's kind of a running joke amongst a lot of people, but there's certainly some cargo haulers who like to get their profit that way. I can tell you there are some of those who are more fond of animals who take an issue with it, but that's neither here nor there.
Nonsense.
So I would say I'm going to call this Sardakan Black.
Sardakan Black.
Yeah, I'll type that in for you.
I have a vial of Sardakan Black. Actually, I quite like that name.
There you go. So, yeah. So he's kind of like just telling you that she's apparently been trying to create a sustainable cattle herd there, and it just they don't take. He goes on to say that maybe the world's just too wild. Kislev is just too wild for it. But that doesn't stop, cargo haulers who are willing to bring cattle on board from saying, hey, what happens to the cattle after I take it to her doesn't matter to me. I'm getting paid, that kind of thing.
Well, afterwards, like saying, it's he would also try to indicate, I'm not from around there. I've travelled around. Obviously, you learn what you can from place to place. Grin's interested me. I've been to I try to have a bit of casual conversation. I mentioned winter space and Radon winter space. I just say they're really hot and they're really cold. And it's obviously he's talking about castle. I'm just seeing if you'll tell me something, something fascinating, equally interesting or something.
Well, it sounds like you've been quite a few places. Me, I was born in the League. Hired onto a crew, didn't even know it was coming up here to Wild Space, and after I got tired of it, well, I had a little bit of fundage. Decided to open this place here.
Yeah, it's a nice place you got here.
Named
Definitely
it after
appreciate
a
it.
nasty, nasty hound that one captain of a vessel we took on had. He went right for my neck, but, well, it was quite a fight, but I eventually took him down.
Yeah. I give him a sleep. Well, you know that.
Yeah,
we're
you
saying,
you
tap
raise your glass
thing.
to him. You raise your glass to him.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Finn, most of what you're hearing right now, and like you haven't made a complete round, you're just kind of like, find a group that you can be near without getting, putting yourself in physical harm or physical danger, and just kind of listening in a little bit. The first group that you've been to, they're recounting an attack on a dwarven merchant vessel. That apparently was undercrewed, which made it really easy pickings to get all their goods. They had a bunch of ore and some gems, but most of what they're talking about is violently killing the crew members. So, Lafdul, what else are you gonna ask about, or?
See if I can. Even though my other characters, my other persona had mentioned this, we'll just talk about the Emerald Oak Leaf, saying, "Oh, I heard about the Emerald Oak Leaf, and there is some survivors." Let's talk about that. That's unusual, isn't it?
Do you remember? Because I don't remember if you said that to both of the tavern keepers. Was it this one that you
Oh, that's a
spoke to?
good point. I cannot remember. I don't think I said it to this one. No, I didn't. I'm pretty sure I didn't.
You're pretty sure you didn't.
Yeah. Because this Minotaur was a little bit more...
Standoffish?
Actually, I can't remember. I genuinely can't.
Yeah, I can't remember.
If I'm going based off on how Lafdul would interact with someone, he probably wouldn't have a casual conversation with a Minotaur. Because he's usually afraid of them.
Out
He's
of
afraid
curiosity,
of
does
things that are bigger.
anyone else in the group remember who Lafdul said that to?
I don't think...
Not really.
I think you might have to ask the people watching the stream. Was anyone watching last week?
Well, I mean,
if
you guys aren't remembering and I'm not remembering, I suppose it's possible that they're remembering, but at the same time, I would kind of doubt that too. Like,
I know he asked one person about it, but I can't remember if he asked both of them about it.
Right, and that's the thing, and I don't remember which one it was.
Oh well. I mean, wherever they've travelled, maybe
then
around town to tavern.
I will assume you didn't ask him, because I think you had a longer conversation with the human proprietor.
Yeah, because this guy I found out about, because I asked about Red Njord, and he's like, oh, no, well, you just need to ask the right people.
Yeah, so you mentioned, you bring up the Emerald Oak Leaf and the survivors, and he responds, I'd heard that too, just this morning.
Yeah. It's unusual, right? I mean, Red Njord's pretty
good luck on their part, I suppose.
Is he referring to the survivors, or?
Yeah, good luck for the survivors.
Yeah.
He's basically just saying, they got... Yeah, and he'll probably say it more along the lines of, they got damn lucky.
Yeah. I don't know any of the deities in this realm, so it's probably best not to say anything along that line. So, is there any news on the road about Red Njord at all? Or I'm just naming a few pirate ships. The Damsel, obviously, the Grey Dancer, and obviously, I mentioned the Grey Dancer was recently in town. It's basically, I'm trying to say, what's the news on the local pirate ships? And obviously, I name a few pirate ships.
Well, so keep in mind that the Grey Dancer, that's clearly a
smuggling
smuggler.
ship.
Yeah, it's a smuggling ship. That's too small to go out of its way to pirate anything. I mean, they might, if they came across another damsel fly or dragonfly, they might try it, but that's not really what they're a smuggler vessel. It's a small vessel. It's easier to get in and hide at places and stuff like that, and take small cargo or passengers who want to elude the authorities. So, but you bring up some of the others, you know.
Yeah, I'm just basically asking. Is obviously I heard that. Is there any news about? I don't know. Is there anything going on with a strike, Red Njord? Anything going on with the singing sword? And obviously, Just see if he.
I haven't
Honestly,
seen the
mention the-
singing sword in some months. As for Red Njord, well, I mean, if they've been up to anything, I have to wait until Sard comes in. He's not in here, not in now. He'll probably not be in until the next night cycle, if even then. As for the strike, well, they come by occasionally, but you know, I always got the impression that they were more interested in slaughtering people than actually stealing, selling their goods. And they do that, but oof.
Well, everyone's got an hour and a living. Sometimes it's just easier that way.
Yeah, but sometimes people take it a little bit too far, you know?
Yeah. Bit more than necessary. Can't, sometimes you just gotta take a load off, enjoy a good ale.
Aye, especially Sardican Black. It's always nice to
Yeah.
get some from back home.
Ah, that means he comes out of Korean. Well, that's no surprise.
Yeah, he did say that.
Yeah. Obviously, there's got as much information as he can out on that.
Finn, do you have anything that you want to add in? I think that with the telepathy, you guys have been exchanging information if you've been hearing anything, so you'd be able to respond to anything Lafdul's gotten from this guy.
Well, it's in a different language. I would have to be mentally communicating.
But I mean, like, what's the point of having the spell up if you're not?
Oh, yeah.
actively
Because it's obviously done in like 1/4 of the time. It doesn't take much communication.
And it doesn't last that long, so you might as well make use of it. So, Finn, anything?
No, nothing I can think of off the top of my head right now. So
Okay.
No,
so
just
Finn,
ask.
Yeah, Finn, you've moved on to another group. Unfortunately, this group appears to be speaking in Minotaur, so you haven't been able to understand what they're saying.
all right, I'd just move right by then.
Yeah, that is the group playing dice. And you can convey that back to Lafdul as well.
Okay.
All right, Lafdul, anything else that you want to ask him or talk to him about? The proprietor?
No, I just ask. Is there any new guys up and coming? Any trying their hand?
He mentioned
this
a
whole
couple
business?
ships that you haven't heard of.
Do I get names? Are these going to be relevant names, or they just?
They're
Tough.
not really going to be relevant names.
that's
If
fine.
they become relevant, I'll mention that he said something about it. But like, I mean, there's more pirate ship. There's more pirates in this sphere than just those that you've been hearing about. Most of them are much smaller profile, and obviously I can't document every single one. So yeah, but he mentions a couple others that he's heard of. No, but again, none of it feels relevant to you, at least right now.
Mm-hmm. Is there this guy only said? Is there any kind of menu? I just look at. Is there any kind of written menu around?
No. No. If you
Be a
want some
case of
food,
having
you
to eat
just
stew.
well, part of it is that what they have available is oftentimes based on what kind of food has been recently brought in to port. So if there's something that you want, like if you want to ask them what they have available right now.
Yeah, one would expect you to follow through with the order. Yeah, no, I can get some food and be within hearing range of the Minotaur game.
I mean, you can also just say, "Oh no, that's interesting to me," or something like that.
No, because that gives me an excuse to listen,
Right.
even though they're speaking in a different language, but I can understand that language.
So he tells you, well, we got the usual. There's squirrel stew if you're into that, but we also have some nice scaver fillets if you're interested. One of the
Do I know if scaver's edible?
some scavers are edible. Some scavers are, for those who like it, are delicious.
Braxon told us.
Yeah.
He gave once gave us a lesson on scavers.
Did
We
he
ate-
s-
We ate one of the types of scavers.
did
They
we?
were very
What-
nice.
They
There's
were.
one type. There's one type that's deadly poisonous,
Yeah.
and there's one type that's really delicious. And
Hopefully,
there's
I don't
two
get
other
poisoned.
types.
Well,
There's two other types that are mediocre.
so again, do you think this guy would be selling poisonous scaver
No,
as
but
part
there's
of
always
his
a
restaurant fare?
Maybe
I'm playing it up.
maybe-
It's fine. I get
maybe
some.
if
I get
it
some.
could be prepared like that really dangerous puffer fish, it's actually super delicious if it's
Yeah.
prepared exactly
Well, it's
right.
intoxicating.
Does this seem like the type of place that would do that?
No,
I get some scaver fillet.
I was going to say depends on how much he likes the customer.
The thing is,
I've been really friendly with this guy.
with
depends
that,
on if he has the assassin kit or not.
with that ring you've got, Lafdul.
Which one? I
There's
have three.
The Ring of Regeneration, I think he means.
the ring that brings you back to life if you die. There's some very high end Shao sushi restaurants that might serve lethal scaver that tastes wonderful, and you die, and then you come back to life.
Yeah, I die an excruciating death, and I tell
Yeah.
no, that's bad. No.
All right,
Yeah,
so,
but
so-
it-
all right. So are you
Thanks.
getting the scaver fillet?
Yeah, I'm getting scaver fillet.
Okay.
How long would it take me to ask? I want to get something that seems like it would take a little while to eat if I can. Whatever it seems like would take longer to eat.
That would probably. I mean, like part of it is you can eat it more slowly if you want, but
All right, no, I obviously I've got a nice drink. Obviously, get the fillet.
all right.
It
so,
tastes like a fish. It tastes like a McDonald's fish fillet.
Mm.
So he brings it out to you. And,
I try to position myself if I can within hearing range of the Minotaurs.
All right.
If I can, surreptitiously, while he's obviously busy ordering or something.
All right.
You want the tartar sauce?
What is your hear noise percent?
There's no benefit to this for me, so it's a flat 45. At least I don't think not wearing armor helps.
Not wearing a helmet helps. You do have a helmet, but you're not wearing it right now. I'm assuming.
I'm wearing a hat of disguise, so
Yeah.
it's a bandana. So
But not the you've got the leather cap, and that does interfere with hear noise.
yeah.
All right. So you initially cannot make out what they're saying. So you try to
So-
reposition yourself surreptitiously, turn yourself a little bit, pretend like you're listening to the Minotaur singing the body songs. Finn, you have scampered around the edge, and you've gotten under the table of a group of sailors who are chatting together at a small table kind of in the corner. And they are talking about something interesting. And that is, like, initially it doesn't seem interesting, but then you hear a name that does pique your interest because they do mention Czar. And the gist of what they are talking about is that apparently one of these two guys, one of these two sailors, which you realize, one of them is a Minotaur and the other one is not. He has, let's see, So he's talking about Czar. Apparently, Czar's armor was heavily damaged in a recent attack. And he's decided to order a new set. But because Czar is kind of bigger than a lot of other Minotaurs. Apparently, it had to come specially made from the Blood Sea on Kryn. And this guy has been acting as a middleman to get it here.
Okay, I'll pass that on to Lafdul and keep listening.
All right. And there's kind of just chatting about Zar as well. Meanwhile, Lafdul, you have been able to position yourself where you can overhear snippets of the conversation between the Minotaurs dicing.
Mm-hmm.
And most of it's pretty normal stuff, jibes at each other about their poor luck, the rolling badly. But one of them does start asking the others, and it sounds like he's looking for more work. It sounds like he's been drummed off of the Bloodsea's Bane.
Hmm.
And the other ones recommend catching a ride on the next vessel that comes in that's going to Thaldar.
Oh, they know a ship's coming into Felder.
Well, no, it's just kind of like if you're having bad luck here, go to Thaldar.
Has anyone ever even mentioned?
What?
Since I've been here,
I'm
like
sorry?
over the past 2 days, has anyone ever mentioned New Haunt?
Yeah, but
it's not like a
the impression
taboo.
that you've gotten is that New Haunt is kind of
was that the competition?
Well, not so much, but it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. In that, like, it's mostly the same as what you get here, kind of thing.
Yeah.
In that, it's about the same size. It offers about the same amenities. But it sounds like Thaldar might be a bit bigger.
Hmm.
And the advantage of it being... one of its advantages is that it's out near where all the moons of Zivlin are, which is slightly more, because of all the moons, there's a lot of local traffic.
Yeah. Has there been any other mention of names or other ports that I might have overheard since the last 2 days I've been here? Or do I get the feeling that it's just these 3 ports?
In terms of kind of smuggler pirate ports, the places where you'd go if you are not a trader on the up and up, or a pirate or something like that, these are the only ones that you've heard about.
Hmm.
These are the stable ones. There might be some others that are that pop up from time to time, but these are bigger, more well defended, and other smaller ones would be easier for the Imperial Navy to eliminate.
Yeah. I'll see. Finish my feed.
Okay.
I don't want to loiter around too much. I've only drank about... I guess I would have to manage to drink half of it. At the very least.
It's entirely up to you.
Because I'm eating feed. At the very... No, because you said this is really strong.
Yeah. But it's entirely up to you how you want to.
If I'm eating feed, I'm at least mixing it,
Mm-hmm.
so it's not going to be as potent an effect.
Finn, the only other information that you get out of those 2 sailors talking is that so the Minotaur, he does have the armor. He's just waiting for Sard Bloodstone to show up. He has no idea when that's going to be.
Okay.
Didn't my telepathy run out?
Not yet.
I mean, I've got another. Does he say which one it is? Which person? Is it a Minotaur or is it a human?
Yeah, it's a
That's
Minotaur.
the-
It's a Minotaur and a human, kind of sitting in the corner.
No, which one is the
Minotaur is the one
provider
with
of
the
the
armor.
arm?
The Minotaur is the one with the armor.
Alright. What is that? Can I get an idea of what that Minotaur looks like? I asked Finnel, try and keep an eye on for like what this Minotaur looks like. Everything distinctive about
Finn
him.
would be able to give you enough information for you to glance over at them.
Yeah.
So this Minotaur, you'd guess, is maybe in middle age. He's got a bit of a paunch, but he looks like he was once, strapping young Minotaur a couple decades ago. Definitely let himself go. You'd guess that he's retired to this town.
Alright, I'm gonna try and obviously say to Finn, I'm gonna try something, but if this fails, I'm gonna be walking out, so to speak. I'm basically, as I'm leaving, I'm going to kind of like casually mention loud enough for the Minotaur armorer or provider to hear what I'm saying, because I'm going to be saying this to the bartenders, and I'm just going to basically ask about asking to get some Minotaur armor made for a friend while I'm on a return journey to Kryn. Basically, I'm trying to give an excuse for this Minotaur to send. Hey, I work in this field. I can tell you where to get this good armor. That's my ploy, basically. Okay. Obviously, if it fails, I obviously walk out and wait for Finn.
All right. So you go up to the proprietor.
Well, as I'm walking
you're
out,
speaking loud enough for the place to hear you.
It's kind of like as I'm walking out, I'm like in the middle between.
So you like turn back and
yeah,
call
it's kind
out
of I remember
something.
You
call out to him.
Yeah.
All right.
I just make an inquiry to got any recommendations for some Minotaur blacksmith armor? Who's the best person in town for that kind of thing? I want to get some armor made for a friend.
Your best bet would be Xeroxes. He carries most of what you need.
Yeah. There's no custom stuff in town, is there?
No,
we don't know any
blacksmith. The blacksmith here just does what's needed with nails and stuff like that for what we need here in town.
All right, looks like I have to try my luck on Kryn or something.
Good luck.
Walk out.
All right.
I guess. Does the other guy even remotely pick up on that?
Finn, you do not... Like, their conversation stopped for a moment, and they've already moved on to, like, other things that are uninteresting. But they don't seem to talk about what Lafdul said at all.
Yeah. I don't know, I'd say it's Finn, I'm probably going to be outside for a little bit. You going to hang in? Because my spell's going to wear off soon.
I'll probably catch back up to him and get back in the pouch or on his shoulder.
It's really easy to find a place to squeeze out and get outside of the tavern, just along the wall.
Mm-hmm.
It's solidly built, but it's not the best built.
I am curious about that armor.
If telepathy's still working, I'll suggest we keep an eye on this guy.
Yeah, I can cast another telepathy, but that'll be my last one if I did.
I think that would basically be the last thing that you can communicate before the spell ends. Finn's suggestion there.
I don't know. obviously have to save my telepathy. I'm gonna try and. I want to loiter around somewhere, but problem is guards patrol this area and they're going to make inquiries, aren't they?
I mean, you could try to hide in shadows.
Try to be more inconspicuous, I suppose. Just
Do you
kind of
or
like...
do you not want to hide in shadows?
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's
not like
right,
really hiding.
But hide in shadows is a thief ability that.
I just don't want to be noticed as easily.
Right, but you're concerned about guards coming by. You can try to hide in shadows. There are shadows around, which is, especially if you're not moving, if it succeeds, you're virtually invisible.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're just going to wait until the guy comes out, that's what you want to do.
All right, then that's what I want to.
All right.
Do I say?
I mean, you don't have to.
No.
You don't have to. But if you want, if the idea
How good
is
are the
to
shadows
just
around here?
wait for this guy to come out and not be noticed, you have a thief ability: hide in shadows.
Because I don't know how long I'm going to be hiding here. How?
But if you don't move, if the situation doesn't change, i.e., like the sun rises, it continues until you do something.
Right. I will attempt to hide in shadows. What's my score? Hide in shadows. 50 plus. Bonus 55 plus. For no armor. What the hell's the armor swing?
No armor is plus 5%.
60.
Okay. All right, so you cross to the other side of the street, and I use the term street loosely. You go around the corner of a building, and there's kind of a rain barrel there. That it's a pretty big rain barrel, and you're easily able to kind of like squeeze yourself in between that and the building, where there really isn't much light. And you
can make myself a bit shorter if it's easier.
It's not that big of a deal right now.
Right.
I mean, better to use your. I mean, your hat of disguise makes you appear shorter. It doesn't make you shorter. Better to save your reduce for a time when you actually need it.
Yeah, I wasn't actually gonna. Yeah.
Okay. Keep in mind that the hat of disguise is just illusion. Okay, so you kind of settle down to wait, and I think you'd probably whisper that to Finn as you're doing that. That's what you're doing.
Can I? Well, yeah, obviously I can say that to him. He can understand, but he obviously will be able to reply. I'll obviously tell him that I've only got one more casting of that spell, and I'm going to save it to when I think it's more appropriate, other than just waiting.
Okay. Finn, are you just going to wait with him, or do you want to try to do anything on your own?
Probably best if I just wait.
Okay. So let's see. All right, so people come and go from the tavern. No one initially of interest to you, but after about 40 minutes, you'd say, you do see the two individuals, the human and the Minotaur, come out. They're obviously a little bit more tipsy than they were when you left. Not drunk, but they've definitely had a few more drinks than they had by the time that they...
Is this guy, like, celebrating in a way?
No. You would guess it's just the normal kind of out with a friend, talking... like, that's the thing, is like when they were talking, Finn would have gotten the impression that this is just two friends discussing their life. You know, the current events, what's going on with them, things that are on their minds. Just having a conversation with a friend, a trusted friend, and so they've just had a few more drinks, and now they're going their separate ways, going home. And they do split up.
I'm going to tail the Minotaur, I guess. Or try to.
Okay.
Being surreptitious. 70 and 60.
Okay, so you follow the Minotaur a few streets until he gets to a what could charitably be described as a house. And your tongues spell would not still be operating, correct?
That's like an hour. Hang on. How long did you say it was?
Well, you were in there for about 20 minutes, and then it was another 40 minutes.
Oh, and this might be right on the edge of the duration. Tongues is a... Really? Hang on, I got the duration wrong. I thought it lasts like an hour. It's only like 10 minutes. Duration, yeah, no, it's only one turn, only 10 minutes. It would have ended then. Sorry, okay. I got that wrong. I thought it was an hour.
Let me double check something then. Because there might be I'm vaguely recalling either some inconsistency with it or something else.
Yeah, it was in the wrong school.
No, something else. I'm vaguely recalling.
I mean, I might not have updated my thing if that's... Tongues.
No, it looks like it is. Maybe I'm thinking of the wizard version. Maybe the wizard version is different.
Yeah, it is one turn.
Alright, so yeah, one turn. I'm okay with not retconning that. It's not that big of a deal.
I honestly thought it was an hour. Ugh. I mean, I'm fine saying that I memorized 2 and I just lost my Baron F-Fix instead. That was my other 4th level.
Yeah, that might be... We'll go with that then.
Alright, then I put 2 tongues memorized.
Okay. The wizard version is 1 round per level.
Alright.
Alright, so, yeah, so you don't have tongues still up. As he enters that, you can clearly hear a female Minotaur and him conversing. Give me a wisdom check.
Is she shouting at him?
No, it's not shouting. At first you think that maybe it's the kind of thing, I mean, it's in Minotaur. At first you think it's the kind of thing of like, why were you out so late? But you kind of realize, no, it's probably she's asking him, like, questions of some sort. As opposed to, like, not why were you out so late, but it's more, did you do a thing or something like that. Not accusatory. Initially, you thought it was accusatory, but it wasn't. You realize afterwards.
I'm just checking something, one of my other spells. I might cast Mind Read, but I don't know if it allows me to understand another language.
And I will say that in your tailing, you were able to get up, like, next to the building.
Couched in the... I don't think it doesn't allow me. It says the identity might be couched in the creature's own language.
That kind of gets to. I think that if they think
Let me.
in a language that you can't understand, and then they.
The spell. Detecting the surface thoughts of the creature in range. Deeper thoughts. Reveal the kind of creature. That is explicitly stating that's if I am trying to probe deeper. It doesn't say about not detecting the
Yeah,
thoughts.
surface
of
thoughts
any...
you can get. Surface thoughts you can get. It's the deeper things that I think you'd need to.
Yeah, then I
know the
will
language.
try to cast Mind Read on it. It's 5 yards level.
You'll have to peek through a window.
Well, as he was walking up, I assumed. Oh, was he gone inside the house?
Yeah, he's gone inside.
Oh, never mind.
And keep in mind that, you were tailing him. If you'd stopped to cast a spell, it wouldn't necessarily make you noticed, but it would immediately break your move silently and hide in shadows.
I cast telepathy on Finnel, and I release Finnel into the house.
Well, that's up to Finn if he wants to go in.
It's up to him. It's like, this could be...
If I can find an unobtrusive way in, I could go in.
Yeah, as I said, this building can charitably be referred to as a house. It's a little bit more close to shack.
I see a rat being chased around by 2 minotaurs that try.
Although he's not going to be able to understand the language, but yeah.
So, Finn, you very easily find a spot that you can wriggle in. You find yourself under a piece of furniture of some kind.
I try to hide in shadows out in the street. Somewhere.
Okay.
So through the telepathy, could I just relay exactly what I hear, even without understanding it?
No. Because when you don't know a language, it's oftentimes tough to distinguish all of the vowels and consonants, and that can oftentimes be crucial. And you certainly don't know the word breaks and sentence breaks and stuff like that. Plus, it wouldn't help Lafdul right now anyway, since he doesn't have a tongue spell cast and he doesn't understand Minotaur.
Are they? I can ask Finno. Are they away from the window? Are they not looking at the window? Could I cast a spell at them through the window if they're not looking at the window?
Finn, they appear to be. They appear to be over in kind of the kitchen area of the main room. It looks like this is a 2-room building. You're in the main room with them under some sort of furniture, like maybe a cabinet or something like that. Something with a low base. So the bottom of it is right above your head kind of thing. And you can only see their feet. Which I will say does kind of pique your interest, because she has hooves, he does not. He is wearing boots.
Interesting.
So she appears to be, you'd guess, cooking, because she's at what you think is the stove or fireplace or cooking area for this shack, which is made of stone, so it's a bit sturdier than the rest of it. And give me a wisdom check, please.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. You think that part's older than the rest. So you'd guess that at some point this building has collapsed. That stone part was intact, and a new building was built up around it. And you see that he is standing a few feet behind her. They're having a conversation. He's speaking to her back, and you can't make out the conversation at all. But it's not. It seems like a normal conversation. It's certainly amicable. There's no raised voices. There's no anger.
Okay.
So
Can I determine which way they're facing?
they're both facing towards where the stove is, because she's cooking and he is facing her back, talking to her. You
Okay.
can't see the windows right now, but you can convey that so that Lafdul could peek up over a window ledge and real quick and get a quick survey.
Yeah. Lafdul will attempt to do that.
Okay. And Lafdul, from the outside, you can see exactly where the stove is because there's a chimney on that. So, yeah, Lafdul, you peek over the edge real quick, and you're at a good window to not be seen if you don't make a whole lot of noise.
Yeah, well, I want to cast Mind Read, basically, on
Okay.
minus. So 5 yards a level, so
On the male?
it's 35 yards.
Yeah, you're plenty of range. Okay, so you try to be as quiet as possible, peek over the edge, and cast that spell.
Once the spell's been cast, I don't have to maintain. I just have to be
Right.
within range.
Right, but you
So
do
I
have
can
to
go.
you do have to look at him as you're casting it.
Yeah,
Uh,
I have to target him.
it doesn't look like they
Wow.
noticed.
It says no saving throw. There's no target. It's just you cast a spell. You can probe the surface features of any creatures in range. So it's just a general field around me, and I target someone.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so you cast it, and the surface thoughts that you're picking up are fairly ordinary domestic things, based on a conversation that they're apparently having.
Any plans?
It's
As in, like,
ordinary
doing the
stuff.
next
There's nothing that's jumping out at you as being there's no mention of armor. There's no mention of Czar. It's just ordinary
It lasts
domestic.
like 7 rounds.
Yeah.
I'll wait 7 minutes.
Unfortunately, in that whole time, it's just
Yeah.
ordinary domestic thoughts that you're picking up from both of them.
I asked Finn, do you think you could scout the house, see if there's any lockboxes, storage areas, or is that too risky for you? I mean, you're invisible, you're tiny.
Yeah, I could probably have a little look around. As long as I stay out of the general area of feet.
Okay.
I say my spell will last about a quarter of an hour. Vaguely.
Yeah.
About 10 minutes to be safe.
So you're definitely picking up the scent of other rats. Not like immediately. Like you don't think that any rats actively live here, but definitely visit from time to time. But that aside, Finn, you can try to sneak into the back room, like hugging the walls. Is that what you want to try doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder.
Back there, you do see a large bed suitable for a pair of minotaurs to sleep in. It's not in great shape. It's clearly pretty old, rickety. It's been repaired. However, with your vantage, you do see a flat object under the bed, but you'd probably have to go under the bed to see what that is.
I'll go take a look.
Okay. So you scamper across the floor and dash under the bed.
I think I know what this is.
It's definitely a box of some sort, or a container.
No.
Okay.
Unfortunately, under the bed, it's dark, and this room doesn't have a lamp in it right now.
You cut out.
It's dark here, and you don't have a lamp. There's no lamp in the room. So all you can do is sniff it. It smells of wood and metal.
Okay. I'll head out then.
You do get a good enough feel, like you pop your head around the corner to try to get a feel for the size. You'd say that it's maybe 3 or 4 inches deep and maybe about a foot by a foot, give or take.
Okay.
And you're gonna exit out of the house now, or do you want to exit the room,
Um,
or do you want to explore the room some more?
I'll take another quick glance around the room and then probably leave.
Okay. There is a wardrobe against the far wall. It would have been like, as you came in, it would have been, back to your right or left or whatever, so that you didn't see it when you first came in. It looks fairly ordinary as wardrobes go, but it is closed. And then there's a kind of a bedside table where you'd guess a lamp would go when they come in to go to bed, kind of thing.
Okay. I think it's time to make my exit.
Okay.
Here's a passing thought, Phil. If this Minotaur is going to pass off this armor to Sard, one would assume that Sard is going to. Actually, did he say that? Or did he say he's going to pass it off to Zar?
Uh,
I think
I'm-
he's.
Go ahead.
I remember him saying that he was waiting for Sard to show up.
Yeah, so
get
one
it.
would assume that Sard's going to deliver it to Njord. Or to Zar if he's working under Njord. It's a good bet. What if someone were to be a stowaway on Sard's ship and they lead him right to Red Njord if we get tracked by our device on the ship if they track one of us? What's your initial thought on that? Because that would literally allow us to track him, assumably, either directly to Red Njord's base or.
First, I just want to hold you up for 1 second and get some clarification. Are you having this? This is a mental conversation, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Are you having this once Finn gets out of this house?
This is just something I'm thinking about as he's in there. If he tells me to be quiet, I'll be quiet. But
Well, it's no problem with that, but it's like,
him.
well, no, it's. I mean, is this the kind of thing? I don't have a problem with you guys having a conversation about this. It's just a question of whether you are actively doing this while he's searching this house, or are you waiting for him to come out and then you guys have this conversation.
I do it while he's in the house because it's not very complex. It's just.
All right, Finn. It's up to you then if you want to have this conversation while you're in the house or wait until you get out.
Well,
You can tell me to be quiet and I'll stop.
yeah, I think I'm just going to work my way out and then respond.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you're both outside the house, and you're doing mental communication right now, so it's not making any noise. So you guys can go ahead and have your discussion.
Well, it would be extremely risky for whoever does the stowing away.
Lafdul, are
Might
you
be a li-
volunteering?
Might be a little easier if somebody was to hire on as a crewman.
Yeah. Sard doesn't, as far as I know, Sard's very, very picky about his crew, or at least that's what because I learned that from the Minotaur guards when I pretended to be a passenger. They seemed surprised. It was like, Sard had passengers? That's not like him. So one would assume that he doesn't take passengers. I mean, even if he takes crew, he's not going to show them to how he operates things, because guy who's in this kind of field is pretty careful, one would have to assume. It'd be very hard to hire on as a crew, I'd suspect.
You just have to know what he's looking for.
Yeah, that's true. If you have the right cards. But... Well, yeah, because we can only track a person. We can't track an object. I mean, if I'm not found, I can sustain myself indefinitely with my magic.
Yeah, depending if you could find a good hiding spot.
Yeah.
Someplace where the crew doesn't go frequently.
Yeah, well, that's my only thoughts for now. If Sard's not going to be here, at least today, then we should probably head back to the rest of the group, I guess. Unless you can think of anything else we want to do.
I was thinking it was about that time, yeah.
I'm not super keen. Should we inquire about the docks? The quartermaster? I mean, a bit iffy, because if he
I
inquires
think we've pretty much decided we're not gonna recommend landing here, so we don't really need that particular piece of information.
I guess we head our way out of town.
So you're not going to go talk to the dockmaster?
No.
Okay. Or the portmaster, I should say. Alrighty. Okay, so you're gonna, the two of you are going to sneak out of town. It's probably easier to sneak out from where you are because this is definitely not the, like you're not in the center of town. You're much closer to the outskirts of town at this guy's house. So is that what you're gonna head out?
Sorry, one second. Yeah.
Alright.
I mean, I have camouflaging my granted power of invisibility if I need to use them, so.
Are you going to initially hide in shadows?
Initially, yeah.
Okay.
When I'm close enough to the wilderness, I will use camouflage.
Okay. So as you're making your way out, it's just like a couple streets over. You do hear the sounds of some Minotaur guards conversing to themselves. You can't see them; they're like around one of the corners. You freeze and kind of like flatten yourself up against a wall and some shadows, and they do pass by you without noticing you.
Yay!
And then as soon as they're gone, you continue sneaking out. You're able to easily get far enough away from the town where you wouldn't be seen, short of making some light without trouble at this point. So, Finn, you're still invisible. Do you want to maintain your rat form, or do you want to change back to your human form, or change into something else?
Once we're out of town, I'll change back into human form to start.
Okay. And you'll maintain your invisibility. Do you want to have a further conversation now that you're out of town and out of hearing? Or just kind of catch up and make your way back?
And just catch up and make my way back, I guess.
Okay. Well, I mean, like not catch up physically, but like, you know, just, hey, I'm back in a human form, I can speak again, that kind of thing to Lafdul.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Okay.
So that would be an awfully long walk for a rat.
It probably would. Yes.
It would be a case of the fact that I'd be carrying you. I mean, you're already right. You don't weigh much.
Yeah, that would be fine. get a ride. Just Lafdul carry me.
Ride back.
But change back anyway.
Okay. I mean, if you ever, if you wanted to make the trip easier, you could turn into something like a goat or a large cat, and you'd have a pretty good, pretty easy trip back. But that's up to you.
Oh, well, I wouldn't be able to because I've already used a mammal form.
That's true. You could turn into a
I
bird.
I could go bird though.
And you could do
How's-
large lizards would be. A large lizard would be able to get over the rough terrain pretty easily, even if it can't move all that fast over flat terrain. But you can keep that in mind for if you encounter that sort of thing. Lafdul and Finn together, are you
I'm
doing
casting
anything in
idea
particular?
as we're walking back.
Okay.
The regret suddenly hits Lafdul.
You remember something that was mentioned by the proprietor of the tavern. He said something along the lines of, "If Sard isn't here, he probably won't be here until the next night cycle."
Yeah, that's that I remember.
Which, this moon has essentially a 4-day night, 4-day day.
So
And
next
you're coming
week-
up on the end of that night cycle.
So he only arrives at night. Hmm.
Basically, we got a few days to wait.
You'd have basically give me an intelligence check, both of you.
Got mine exactly.
Okay, both of you at the same time would realize that basically that means that you have 11 days. I mean, not 11. I'm sorry. I was looking at the number rolled. 5 days before he'd be here again.
Mm-hmm.
If he's gonna be here soon, like that's gonna be the soonest he could come. On the other hand, when this town is in daylight, the other town is in nighttime.
So he might be at the other town.
So it's something to consider.
Yeah, I suppose we could go over to the other town and take a look around there, and then come back here in a few days if we don't run into them.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So your trip back to the rest of the party, unless you want to do anything special, you cast something else. Yeah.
I will cast Blessed Watchfulness on myself on my way back, and I will cast Pass Without a Trace once I'm about half an hour into my journey.
Okay.
So it should get
Yeah.
middle chunk of the journey.
The trip is uneventful otherwise.
Yeah.
And
Better
you
safe
do
than sorry.
get back to the rest of the group.
Oh wow, I didn't actually use my granted power of invisibility for change. Miracles do happen.
All right, so you guys can you unless there's anything that you want to specifically hold back, do say so. Otherwise, I'm going to assume that you share what you learned, and you guys can, start discussing how you want to proceed, what you want to do.
Well, yeah, just convey everything we know back to the party. I assume we've got back to the party, sorry.
Are you going to give that sample to Solas?
He can, yeah. Well, I'm going to be doing it. He's going to be doing it. I say this is most likely the poison that they've been using. We should probably work out how to make an antidote for it.
I
Okay.
meant the sample of the beer. but-
Yeah, I think that's what he was talking about.
All right, retcon that. Yeah. No, I do have a small flask. Well, actually, I said I owed Lever a drink, so I'm going to give it to Lever.
I mean, you could pour half out for Leva and...
Yeah, it's only a little flask. Yeah, I suppose.
It's a
Both the
good thing
wizards.
she's not there.
No,
No.
this is you're all back at camp now.
Gosh, Leva will say, yes, please.
It's only like half a vial then, if I'm splitting it between you two. So
It is some strong stuff. I will leave it up to you, Leva, to decide if you like that. It's not enough to make you drunk yet.
Does she like it? Probably not. She never said she liked the alcohol.
You seem so enthusiastic about it now.
Yes. Doesn't mean I like it.
Wait, what?
Doesn't like it, just likes the effect.
Oh, right, I see.
No, doesn't mean she likes that either.
Wait, why are you drinking it then?
Because you're offering.
You're weird. So what's
Braxon. Go on.
Oh, I was going to ask what. No, never mind.
Go ahead.
Braxon. I changed my mind.
Okay. Right, well, Braxon goes up to you two and says, we got attacked by some of that moss at Guild Lafdul. And we found out that if you destroy it, it stops attacking you.
Yeah, I tried getting away from it, and it still kept getting me. Maybe I wasn't away far enough. It's got quite a big range, whatever that thing is.
It does seem to have quite a big range.
You either get away really fast and hope it stops affecting you, or
we were trying to move, but we couldn't see it first, and then luckily Lever spotted it, and she hit it with some magic, and then I tried chopping the rest down. It was hiding on a tree.
I mean,
tried chopping the rest down, and then just tried to burn it with my sword.
Solas figured out that it was dehydrating us. Can we confirm that it was dehydration?
Not exactly.
No. I would have just tried drinking some water, see if that would have helped.
I don't know exactly what it was doing to me, but I felt quite ropey. And then when we destroyed it, I instantly felt... Well, I wouldn't say better. I instantly felt like the thing that was draining away from me was no longer doing that. Solas did heal me when he came back, so I don't know if he learned anything from that.
Well, we've learned to...
Solas, give me a healing proficiency check. Because that might give you some information.
Just a moment.
Yep, that's fine.
Can he do 2? Because he healed.
No, it's just this is just going to be a kind of thing. You guys are talking, and it may be a thing of him going, oh, and it is, oh, a kind of a eureka moment. Solas, it didn't quite occur to you, but now you're thinking back, they were a little bit pale when they got back.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't anemia.
Oh, so the moss becomes brighter and we become paler.
It was taking our blood, not our water content.
Well, it went
Our
green.
Energy? Our energy?
You do feel listless when you've got anemia.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
I think Lafdul would know that as well.
What's the opposite of green?
Wow. Brown, I guess.
I mean, you'll have to draw your own conclusions from that information, so...
Yeah. Anyway, if you see it, just destroy it immediately.
Yeah, that's pretty hard to make out in pitch black.
Yeah.
Infravision's not the best at distinguishing colours.
Yeah, well, like I said, I didn't spot it at first, and luckily Lever spotted it.
Destroy it with fire works on most things.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
only fire. It's not only fire. I could do it with magic missiles. And magic missiles, so it's a creature. The moss is considered to be some sort of a creature because missiles wouldn't go for.
I think don't. That's getting a little bit too gamey for what your characters would, how your characters would talk about it.
Yeah.
Well, but she would know that. Let's say, as you said, daisies would not be.
It needs a focus, a living
well,
focus.
I don't know. I mean, you can. I believe I'm saying this out of character. I believe you can use magic missiles against something like an Artuk, which is a plant.
Yeah.
Could I?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
We fought Artuks And they are plants, and some things that only affect plants will affect them, and some things that don't affect plants won't affect them. But I think combat spells work against them because they're sort of alive in some sense.
I mean, you've never
God, it's-
tried using a magic missile on a daisy, so like, and
yeah,
no
you
one,
could.
no wizard in their right mind would try that either. But you
Yeah,
do know
but
that you can't use it to push like a lever.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
that's the distinction here.
Okay.
but Levalithana is not no wizard in her right mind. She may well decide
Anyway.
to magic missile daisies to find out something.
No.
Well,
So again, like I was giving you game information rather than how your characters would understand it. It's just sometimes you like at the same time you don't necessarily know when like there's a lot of things that could cause magic missile to fail.
Yeah,
but
So
what she does know is that magic missiles are not correctly just fire.
yeah,
So
they're not fire. So you could say it's not just fire that works. My magic worked just fine, and I wasn't using fire, something like that. You know,
Yes.
in character is
Yeah.
kind of how you'd put it.
Yes. So my magic missiles work fine.
yeah.
They're not fire.
So,
it doesn't
so
just use
sorry,
fire.
go on.
It's not just fire that works.
Braxon will say, I specifically didn't attack it with a non-magical weapon, so I don't know. I don't know if non-magical weapons would destroy it.
And by the way, Braxon, you did get healed up. You never altered your hit points.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay.
I was.
I just don't want
I
that
was-
forgotten.
Yeah, I was. Instead of adding things and subtracting it from my icon, I was putting on my character sheet, and I.
All right, so like, how do you guys want to go forward with the information that Finn and Lafdul have brought back to you guys?
Do you think we should go to the other port or wait here? Because we've got 5 days, you said.
How?
Oh, sorry, hang on. Did you mention the armor?
Yeah,
Is the armor in town now?
supposedly. Well, I say suppose. I say one would assume so.
Ockar, do you think there's something we can do to that armor to sabotage it?
If you studied it, you could do something with it. You would know its weaknesses.
Ockar, are you muted? You might have had to step away.
Yeah, he might also think it's dishonorable to sabotage
No.
someone's armor.
Sorry, what's going on?
There is armor in town for Tsar that's going to be shipped to him, and we're going to be fighting Tsar later because he's with Red Njord. So Braxon was wondering if there is anything that could be done by someone who sneaks into town to sabotage the armor.
Or even understand how it works so you have a better time fighting it, so you know its weaknesses. If you studied it, I guess. I mean, all armors have their weaknesses, right, Ockar?
Yeah, usually. Unless it's adamantine.
Say, Lafdul,
Mm.
you've had some.
Though I
You've had-
imagine even adamantine has a weakness if it's poorly made.
You've had some things that corrode things in the past.
I got acid, yes.
Do you know of anything that would corrode that armor really slowly so that it looks fine when it's delivered?
I do not have access to that spell, and I do not know if priests do.
Okay.
It might be more of a wizardly thing. Could ask Solas and Lafdul, they might have heard of such a spell.
Yeah. Or do you have any spell that you could cast on the armor that would do something?
Do you have a specific effect in mind?
anything that would make it less useful to a fighter.
Oh, you mean the warp metal spell that I do not have access to? I used on the scroll.
Yeah,
Druids get
maybe
access
that.
to that,
Maybe
but I
that,
don't think
or
Finnel'ar knows that spell.
maybe
It's
that,
at
or
5th level.
anything strange. You was putting those wards on the ship. Who's putting the wards on the ship? Was
I
that you?
don't think I could. Yes, I put wolves on shit. I don't think I could put it on a suit of armor.
No.
Can I?
Leva put in the symbols.
No, not well. At least not the spells that you've used. There might be
Fair
other
enough.
spells, but not those 2 spells.
No, I'm just thinking if there was a spell you could put on the armor so that
Yeah, no, I'm
when,
just saying that the 2 spells that I know that they've used are not ones that they could use on armor.
yeah, okay.
There might be other spells, but I'm
Yeah.
not going to tell you which ones those are.
No. I know you're not
I
Leva
know.
cool.
would.
I'm
Leva put
just trying to talk to the
avoidance
other. I'm just thinking if you could put something on that suit of armor so that when Tsar puts it on, he dances or shouts or
No, he wouldn't
gets
put
really
it on.
angry.
He wouldn't
Well,
put
he
it
wouldn't
on.
know.
If Leva casts avoidance on it, then he wouldn't put it on.
How long's avoidance last?
Forever.
Oh,
Interesting.
but
Did
couldn't
we
it be
know?
dispelled potentially?
Yes, dispel magic.
They've probably got magic users. They fly a ship. It would just be a matter of time before it gets dispelled.
Very interesting.
Yeah, well, so would make him dance or do anything. No, the
No, but it
duration
would
is permanent. The avoidance is permanent, but it can be dispelled.
but it would
Getting the
stop him.
armor to...
It would stop him using it.
Well, no, it will go further than that. It sets up a natural repulsion between the affected object and all other living things except except the caster.
Ah, right.
Thus,
So
any
that-
living creature attempting to touch the affected object is repulsed.
Yeah,
Unable to
so
go
that-
closer than 1 foot, or repulses the affected object, depending on the relative mass of the two.
That would affect the shopkeeper as well.
Yes,
And they'd want to get rid of it.
yes.
What we want is something that doesn't stop this from being delivered.
Well, we know Sword's going to have it. We just...
So
I
the
mean,
avoidance would stop it being delivered.
Not necessarily. If they learn how to walk behind it, then
I mean, if we take the armor, for argument's sake, we eliminate the armor for lack of a better description. That means we do not find where Red Njord is because he's not going to be taking the armor because it doesn't exist. I think we should allow the armor, because people don't wear that armor all the time. If the armor gets to Red Njord or at least Tsar, then we should be able to have a very, very good idea of where they operate.
We can't track that armor, can we?
I would need to steal something from their ship.
Yeah.
Or one of us needs to stow on that ship and be tracked.
Yeah.
Themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
question.
Mhm.
It says here about avoidance. The spell cannot be cast upon living things, and any attempt to cast an avoidance spell upon the apparel or items carried by a living creature entitles the subject creature to a saving throw. So I take it that's when somebody is actually wearing the item.
Yeah, so like you could try casting avoidance on someone's cloak, but they'd get a saving throw.
This is a really far question. And I bet you're going to straight away say you don't know because it is really far-fetched. If someone dies, I animate them. Is that thing technically a creature?
Yeah.
For the purposes of being tracked as the owner of an object?
I'd have to
If
think
that
about
creature was stowed on that ship, if I animate a skeleton, hypothetically, and I put it on
okay,
Sarge
so
ship,
in that case, I would say probably not, because it's not that. It's a creature, but it's not that creature anymore.
so it's changed.
It would have to be the sort of undead where the person turns into the undead. Animated skeletons and zombies, those are not the people anymore. They're just
It needs
They're
to be
they're more
more
like
powerful.
yeah. Skeletons and zombies are closer to automatons than they are to what they were originally.
Okay.
Oh, where's the necromancer when you need one?
Okay. What have you guys got in your expertise that will make someone that puts armor on not want to wear it?
Heat metal.
Something that stinks.
Something that stinks, yes.
Well,
That will also get noticed in the shop, possibly. But yes, that would work.
Why not? Is the armor open or is it inside the box?
we never found where the armor is. So there's also
Okay, let's assume, worst case scenario, that armor is uncovered and will be inspected in the shop. We want to put something on it that will make the owner not want to carry on wearing it when he puts it on.
Paint it pink?
He'd just be angry.
Can we?
Wouldn't he
Can
be
we?
angry
Maybe
anyway?
he likes pink.
Yeah. You
Can
just have
we?
an angry man as well.
Can we put something on it that? Oh, it's a shame we can't get some of that moss and put that on it. Can we put something on the straps that would be like itchy? Do we have anything like that could be put on there?
What you mean, like
What's
that
the
plague
goal
that
of
was
this?
going around with the crew?
Male armor doesn't have straps.
Oh,
Mate.
so it's
Braxon, what's the goal?
the goal is that Tsar gets the armor, puts it on, and decides he can't use it, and then we don't have to fight him wearing this really good, well-made armor.
Well, then
Either
we
that or
change the
we.
size.
Either that or we. That's true. Can we do that?
We put in some filling. Ockar, you asked.
What was the question again?
I'm not sure Ockar could.
Change the size of what was it? The chain armor.
Did we
Male,
actually
yes.
learn what type of armor it is?
It's male.
Male, but still, that's something.
So it's
isn't that
chain
something?
links.
I mean, chain. I think you could resize. The problems come up when you're trying to resize like plate.
Yeah, but you see, resize, make a dent into it, do something that it's very uncomfortable. That after a while he says, I can't wear it.
I mean, it's probably possible. I could give it a shot.
Well, we could probably put some kind of.
So, real fast, Ockar, you would need access to a forge.
Yeah, I need a forge and everything. I can't do this without like a working forge.
Okay. You lot have spells that remake things. Can you
Remaking
remake?
metal is very high level, above our pay grade at the moment.
Okay. Well, I know Leather remade a floor into something else.
That's
But
not
that
metal.
and it's not permanent.
Metal's one of the hardest substances to alter.
I've
Okay.
been thinking, look, if I were to, let me see how long that takes. That is major creation. You don't. Metal, you say?
Yes.
Precious metal, 2 turns a level.
Not precious.
Right. So what happens? Let's say I'm wearing. Braxon gestures at himself and says, "Let's say I'm wearing mail right now, and let's say Ockar identifies a place where losing some links would be pretty bad. If you were on me to cast a spell and change those specific links, like maybe the links running from my neck to my shoulder or something like that, if you were to cast a spell to change those links into, say, a nail, and you take the nail away, would that leave a hole in the armor
I don't
that would be
know.
permanent? And then you throw the nail away because it's going to turn back into whatever it turns into afterwards. Is that something you could do?
Sounds logical, Old.
I'm not sure that you can be that precise with something like major creation.
Okay, well, could she destroy some random part of the mail?
I mean, certainly, there's a lot of ways you could destroy the object. If he was wearing it at the time, it would require a saving throw for the person, and if he's not wearing it at the time, you'd have to be very precise in what you did for it to not be noticed.
Yeah.
I also have to say that the spell doesn't talk about destruction; it talks about creation.
Yeah.
So I'd have to
she
have.
might be making extra stuff rather than taking any of it away.
Right, so
Well-
Major Creation, there's another spell that I think you used. I don't know that it was Major Creation that you used to... Because you caused a hole to appear, and I think you used a scroll.
Yes, I used the scroll. I forget what the spell it was exactly, but I used the scroll.
Yeah. And I don't think that was Major Creation. I'm not sure that you had
Was it-
Major Creation at the time, but I don't think it was Major Creation that you used.
I remember I did not have major creation at the time, which is why I
The
used the scroll.
spell in question, I don't remember the name, but it allowed basically you to make, if you have wood, you could make a bridge out of wood with the spell.
Yeah, but I could do that with major creation.
And it was permanent what you created.
Yeah, that was the difference, I think. What I created with the scroll was permanent, whereas this major creation is just temporary.
I think you used Material. I think that was a spell.
Could be.
Let me take a quick look.
Ah, yes, because I don't have it, but I bookmarked it in the wizard's manual compendium.
As something you want.
No, it's something I fused.
Oh, okay.
I bookmarked because I had it in a scroll, and I left it there in case I wanted. So yes, I did use it in a scroll. What a pity! I could have learned it instead. Ah well.
Actually, no, I don't think it was that.
I
Because that's a third level spell, and it's similar to Major Creation. I mean, it's similar to the Creation spell, but it only does things in basic material. So no, I don't think that was it.
Well,
Okay,
the basic material.
So
Okay.
Okay.
I don't remember
Okay.
what exactly it was that you used at this point. Then
But
If
I
we-
know I
anyway,
used warped metal.
with this, I'd need a material that's the same as the armor was, and the question is, could Lever do anything to it?
All right, hang on. Someone has a bag that destroys metal. Could we fit that whole
Research.
shirt in that bag?
That's the one that Solas has got. I don't know how. If it's chainmail, you could probably crush it up enough to, well, not crush, compact enough to fit into the bag, I suppose.
But if we crush it up, then we don't need to put it into the bag. We just crush it, and then we put it back where it was.
It
so
sounds
well.
stupid.
All right. So here's the thing. The question is, like, there's two things going on. Like, if you just want to destroy this armor,
Yeah.
Ockar can do that. You could do that, Braxon. Lafdul could
Yep.
do. All you need is some tools. All you need is some time, or I mean, there's some various spells too. But again, you're destroying it. It's not that he's going to get it and it suddenly doesn't work. It doesn't do what he wants. and
Yeah,
he's
no,
gonna
I
take it
realise
off.
that.
He's
I
going to
realise
know
that.
instantly that something
Yep.
is wrong with it. So that is a very different situation than trying to apply something. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Don't get like it depends on what you actually want to do. But at the same time, like, if you discuss something for a half an hour and no one comes up with a good plan, it is okay to say, all right, maybe we can't do it.
I have a question.
Finn,
Well, I think destroying it is a fallback option.
Okay, well, Solas, you had a question first?
Yeah, if it was possible would we be able to, say, take a part of some small bit of the armor without that would be quite unnoticeable and use it to basically track it with our machine?
Only once
So
the owner has received it.
again, the problem is that you really can't take an unnoticeable piece of a brand new set of mail armor.
Finnel, I have a question to you.
Yes.
Is there something in nature that can be used to make a really good glue? So we can pour it around the armor, and when he puts it on, he gets stuck. Because that will be a sure way that he would not wear the armor for the foreseeable future.
That sounds good. Can you make a glue that heats up with body heat? What about something that heats up with body heat and becomes gluey?
I was asking about a simple glue, one that sticks to him and that makes it difficult for him to take.
Yeah, but a simple glue will be noticed by the shopkeeper or the person that tries to deliver it.
I don't even think we should even be thinking about how to sabotage it right now.
Well, all I'm saying is I don't think he should get that armor.
You see, the something like a glue, no matter whether it warms up the body or it's a simple glue, it means you can go past the armor and pour something into it from the top, and if you do it right, then there will be a glue around the head part, the neck part, and if it flows along the armor, then it will be all over the place, and he will not wear an armor like that. It will have to be cleaned, and if it's a proper glue, then it will take ages to be cleaned. That's all. That's what I was asking Finnel, whether there's something like that.
There's nothing I can think of.
I mean, if it's just glue, you can just douse it briefly in flames.
Why?
You melt all the glue off.
Yeah, but
I
then,
mean, it's just a mail overcoat. You tighten it up with straps that are external to the armor usually.
Yeah, but
Not on mail.
No?
Mail doesn't have straps, no.
No, but no, you misheard me. The armor itself doesn't have straps. You put it on, then you get some other things that are external. You put it around to tighten it around your waist and stuff.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
But if you, where do you think I was going to put the glue? I was going to put the glue in the middle, so if he gets into the armor, he puts the armor on, then it sticks to him. And if he has an armor that sticks to him, then he will not wear it. He won't. It will have to be cleaned first.
Right, but
Well,
if you put the armor inside, if you put the glue inside the armor glues itself to itself.
You would need a spell that activates a glue-like function, and you would have to invent that spell, I think.
And it would have to be triggered when someone puts it on.
Which is an easy enough trigger.
We need symbol, actually.
That spell is a spell that can be made. You just need time to make the spell.
It's the best thing we've got so far.
Does anyone know how to
make? Does anyone know how to make anything like itching powder or something that makes people sneeze?
Yeah, that's probably quite easy to do, but in a combat situation, you can just ignore that if you're angry enough.
Yeah, but this won't be a combat situation. This will be he gets his new armor, he tries it on, and it's incredibly uncomfortable. And he takes it off and he's got to figure out what's going on with it. Either that or we destroy it.
Whoa.
The good part about stuff like itching powder or glue is that you can just walk past it and sort of let it fall inside. Whereas everything else, basing it in fire, doing other things, it either needs a forge, and I bet you that you will get attention pointed towards you if you did that, or the shop owner would notice that you're doing something to the armor.
Yeah. Is there some of you seem to be able to summon creatures? Are there any creatures you can summon that eat metal?
That's a
Mind you,
very particular creature you're thinking.
I don't know that we want to summon a Selectic or something into the town.
Solas
mean-
is a specialist in summoning. Leva doesn't know much about that.
You got your bag of summoning, right?
So here's the thing though. Number one, if you want to do any of this, you need to find you need to get back to the town. You need to find exactly where the armor is, and then you need to either decide whether you're going to abscond with it for a time and then return it, or just abscond with it. I mean, like if you steal the armor, you don't need to destroy it. He doesn't have it.
Yeah,
So if you can steal it, you can just do that.
we could steal it and keep it.
But like to a certain extent, if the plan is to do something to the armor, you're thinking about step 6 rather than step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah. Okay, well, I think we should try and steal the armor then.
But we got no way of tracking them.
We'll have no way of tracking him if he has the armor. Mind
we
you, it
track
could be that.
Sard.
And I
Sard's gonna
suppose,
take it
I
to
suppose
him.
Sard won't go there if he doesn't have the armor.
Either Sard that's going to come with Zar, or Sard is going to take it to him, to
Yeah.
Zar. While
Yeah.
the armor is on transit, we can either track him. We've got to set up for being able to track Sard. That's
Yeah,
way too good of an opportunity to miss up on.
Yeah, you are right. I mean, the primary objective is to track the person delivering the armor.
Armor's only
What's the
good if you're
question?
hitting them.
Question, Old?
Yes.
This is a male armor, as he said, but I'm sure there are some leather pieces with it. Am I correct?
No, mail is worn over other things like
It's just a
gambus.
coat.
Well, it's not a coat. It's more of a shirt, oftentimes, and it
Mm.
depends on what exactly what part of the body it's covering. Most armor has mail included. I mean, most better armor than just straight mail has mail as well at the joints until you're getting up to like full plate armor. So it depends a lot on what it's doing because there's like mail coifs, there's leggings. Sometimes again it's just at the joints. This was referred to as mail armor. That tends to just be like a shirt or a hauberk, which you just put on like a shirt.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
I've worn mail in real life, and the mail I wore was kind of like a dress.
Yeah, it goes over, then you put a
Yeah,
belt
you
on
put
it
it over
and
your head,
strap
and
it on.
it's all one thing, although it's links.
Incredibly bulky.
Yeah,
Is
quite
it
heavy.
possible? Sorry.
No, I'm done.
Is it possible to detach one link?
Not without breaking it.
Yeah, you could probably pry the rings apart if you had some pliers. That's a
Depends.
time-consuming
If you
It
had
depends how they've
if
made-
Ockar had the tools, he could get a link off. Yes.
Yeah.
But again, there generally isn't just a single link at some point. It's all interconnected. So if you take one link off, it's going to be obvious that there's a missing link.
Yeah.
The armored sag at a certain point. Or something.
Okay.
They might have welded the links together.
If only
So
I didn't
again, like here's the
use-
other question is if you want to take a link off, why?
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, we might as well just keep the armor if we've managed to get hold of it.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I was just hoping we could do
that's why I'm getting at what's the idea of taking one of the links off?
I was hoping we could do something to the armor to render it useless or less useful to the person wearing it. I don't think taking one link off would do that, because that would be a matter that, like if you take one link off over someone's heart, you have to stab them exactly on the heart to get through the armor.
But then glue would work fine as long as it's glue that works on metal. Because then you
Right, but again, keep in mind that this is like a shirt. If you put glue on the inside of a shirt, then the shirt is glued to itself.
I misunderstood how it looked like. In that case, I would actually pull the glue over the links, between the links, so it would harden up, yes,
Unflexible.
because then it's not wearable anymore.
I think what Braxon was thinking of is once the armor was en route or something, if once it's past the initial inspection, we sabotage it with like the equivalent of a warp metal spell. So it's been damaged, it's been not destroyed, but damaged, but it's still en route. It would still be trackable. It's been sabotaged, but I still think we have the means.
Yeah.
So we don't have the spells.
Do we have that spell?
No, it's a Druid spell that Finn would have to research. I had a scroll of it at one point.
Right, so that's the thing. Like again, if you don't have the spell, if you don't have the means to do the thing, it's definitely best to not get hung up on the thing.
Yeah. If we can't do it,
like,
we can't do it.
Keep bashing your head against the wall that isn't coming down.
So, Finn, is there a material that can be used to sort of, I wouldn't say break, but at least make it almost impossible to wear an armor, a mail armor? Like,
Nothing that I know of.
So again, like the idea would be to do something that would not be visible on an inspection, because if someone's going to look this over at some point along the line, and if they notice any flaws, like acid has corroded the links, if you've used glue on it, if you've done anything, and Ockar would also tell you that you don't just buy a suit of armor and just put it on. You will go over it, you'll clean it, you'll make sure that it's good.
You're looking at a magical enchantment on it, basically.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that,
it.
but you definitely have to think about it. But at the same time, like, if the goal is to just deprive him of the armor, then your best bet is to just steal it.
Yeah.
And then you can decide what you want to do with it after that. But, if the ultimate goal is to just deprive him of it, you don't need to worry about whether you destroy it a certain way or not. You just take it, and then at that point, you've got it. They don't, and you can do with it what you want. If you want to destroy it or keep it or whatever. If you want to do something else, then you need to really come up with something that can work. And if no one can come up with something, then move on.
Yeah.
It's perfectly fine for an initial idea to not come to fruition. There are still other things you can do related to the armor that people have touched on, so it is the end of the coming up at the end of the session. Do you guys want another week to think about it?
Yeah, I think it might be worth checking the armor to see if it's magical armor. If it's magical armor, we should probably try and steal it.
All right, so you're looking at going back to the town again.
Well, it's up to other people. It's a risk doing it.
All right. Well,
I personally think we're better off heading to the other town.
Okay. Well, we'll head to the other town then.
All right. Well, we'll give it a week to think about it, because I mean, like, that was one person saying I think we're better off doing that, and then someone making a decision for everyone. I just want to make sure that that's discussed and decided. But you guys can have a week to think about it. I will say that you guys will be resting at this point. You guys can get your spells back. Another day will pass. That kind of thing. So, XP-wise, let's see. That is going to be...
Do I get more than one for my thief?
So 500 XP for everyone. Lafdul, 200 extra for your thief.
500, did you say?
Yeah, 500. Leva, you get an extra 121. And Braxon, you get an extra 51.
Ooh. Thank you.
Ooh.
So when we come back next week, we will see how the party decides to proceed. Thank you guys for playing. Thanks everyone out there for watching. Thanks to Kikoskia for the raid as well. It was much appreciated right at the beginning. And we'll be back next week for more Spelljammer Adventures in Arcane Space.
Thanks for the game. Thanks for the raid.
Thanks for
Thanks for everyone
having
watching.
us.
Thanks for watching, everyone.